Tails and Scales, The Empty Throne. Chapter 8, The Noble with a Pirate's Heart. Rescued from being Crocodon food, Silvus gratefully walks up to Sidon Tritus, the beta of Tricia, giving him a high five followed by a shake, as they are the best of friends. Despite becoming a beta and marrying his cousin, that did not stop the young rebellious pirate at heart from going on hunting sprees that led to saving Silvus and his group's life. Tritus looks around Silvus's group, who are not in good condition.
If you're trying to start a crew, 6 mates isn't the way to start, especially one of them lack any fighting spirit.
Tritus jokingly speaks, with a Triceon sailor accent and laughs, making Ego go, "Hey!" in annoyance. Failing to hear a snicker from Orzine. Silvus cannot help but laugh with him, and at the same time is glad that Tritus did not forget their friendship. However, he snaps, remembering about the task given by his mother. "Actually, Tritus, we are here on the run, and are in a desperate need of help."
On the run?
Tritus raises a brow.
Did something happen to ya? Let me explain.
Orzine calls out, walking up to the two young adults with his claws held together behind his back.
What my nephew is trying to say is that Megalo has been taken over by Manchester forces, leaving us on the run. We were hoping to meet up with you at Lentra to discuss it.
Tritus gazes at the rest of Silvus's group to see that they aren't in the best of positions with their rundown equipment. Turns his gaze to his guards, making the captain shrug.
Well then, what about you explain what happened to you home at me castle back at Atlanta, shall we?
He looks at his guards and commands them like a pirate captain.
Let's go, mateys. Tonight's hunt is over. Let's take the lads from Maglo back home. What about the Crocodon, Lord Beta?
One of Tritus's own men asks, concerned about the Crocodon corpse. All eyes land on the lifeless large creature with blood dripping from its forehead. Tritus looks to his men, who await his command.
Head back to the camp and get a wagon. This here dead creature is going to fill up some bellas for our town, for at least a month,
Tritus commands. Some guards salute and rush back into the wild areas of the swamp for their camp. "Thanks for helping us out, Tritus. I knew you would not let us down." Silvus gleefully thanks him. Spirits bless him for having a great friend in a beta lord like Tritus.
"Anything for my first mate!"
Tritus laughs heartily, giving Silvus a pat on the back. The extended group of guards and leading nobles continue to walk across the road, with a dead Crocodon on the large wagon being pushed by 3 of the Triceon guards. Eco sits on the side of the wagon, due to not wanting to step on the wet road. In front of the group, Silvus walks alongside Tritus to his right, while his uncle Orzine walks to Tritus's left. "So how is Sulfi, by the way?" Silvus asks Tritus. Concerned for his cousin, remember what she had told him during his graduation party. Orzine moves his eye to the side to look at them and listen, wanting to hear about how his daughter is doing.
"Oh, she is fine. Good lass she is. Except when she gets mad at me for hunting from time to time. Maybe it is due to you becoming a father yourself. My daughter does not want you to die, or else my grandchildren will be fatherless."
Orzine butts in, earning some growling annoyance from Tritus. While Tritus turns his attention to Orzine, Silvus thinks about his mother and what she wants him to do.
"This object I am trusting you is a powerful relic that will be the key to saving Avalonia. Lonia.
He hears his mother, but he hears her voice echo in his mind. He looks back at the supposed relic still strapped onto his back. He really wants to know what is inside the wrapping, but his mother told him not to look, only if he is alone with Arcus. It must be so important that his mother believes that it could potentially save the kingdom or bring it further doom if brought to the wrong claws. For the rest of the trip, he keeps his mind on the relic. Eventually, the trio makes it to their destination, Atlantara, the Betadum capital of Tricia. Silvus looks at the city in front, placed on the edge of the beachside. Unlike back home, the city is made of wood, both the walls and the buildings. It is probably due to being a harbor town. Regardless, the young raptor relieved that he has made it to one of the safest towns in the Betadum. As Tritus leads both the guests and his guards in, Silvus looks up at the main gate to see a waving purple flag with the golden trident in the middle that matches his best friend's weapon. Walking into Market District, Silvus can smell the tasty fish inside the market stalls in place. One thing to know about Tricia is that they are the biggest supplier of seafood products. Many raptors that crowd around the district are mostly hunters or fishermen themselves, making them unique compared to the other Betadums.
By the spirits, this city smells like rotten fish, he hears Eco complain, who is trying to cover his nose in disgust.
Oh, I thought you loved fish, Silvus teases his cousin with a smug look on his face.
I love them cooked, thank you very much.
Eco shouts back defensively. Okay, cousin, whatever you say, Silvus shrugs, still walking with the group. Eco huffs behind him and follows along. Silvus looks around to see that the raptors who live in Atlantara are very carefree. The hatchlings are playing, and the adults are either fraternizing, maintaining their homes, or tending the market stalls, where all the seafood is. They don't look worried about the impending invasion. He guesses that Tritus has not told them about it yet, due to not knowing himself.
Look, the Beta Lord is back,
Silvus hears one of them shout, making his group stop in their tracks in the middle of the street. Almost all the raptors turn their attention to his group as they flock right in front of them. Their attention is mostly for Tritus, as he sees a group of females looking at him dreamy, despite his marriage. From the crowd, 3 male hatchlings run up to Tritus with wooden sticks.
Oh my god, you're back!
One hatchling says in glee, like a fanboy.
Did you slay another Crocodon?
The second hatchling asks, as he uses his stick like a spear.
I bet you're not afraid of anything,
the third hatchling shouts, in the traditional Triceon attitude. Silvus hears Tritus make a jolly laugh at the hatchlings. They are not wrong. Tritus is indeed a great hunter, just like all the past betas of Tricia. To demonstrate, Tritus points at the large wagon with the big dead Crocodon, making all the raptors ooh and ah.
That's, my mighties, is food and leather for us all to last another month.
Tritus turns his head to the guards, holding the wagon, making the crowd cheer. He turns round to his guards and commands,
Take it to the butchery district so we can distribute that meat to the merchants.
The guards nod and begin to move the wagon westward to the butchery.
And for the rest of ya,
Tritus turns his attention to the rest of his guards.
Get back to watch duty while I escort our guests to the castle.
The guards salute as they disperse to assist the other guards present in the city. The raptors of Tricia are lucky to have a beta lord like you, Silvus compliments his friend. It is great to see his friends and family doing well in times like this, especially Tritus, who is like a big brother to him, and also family by the fact that he married his cousin.
My pa always told me that the first duty of being the Beta Lord is to always look after your raptors as if they are your own crew.
Tritus brags with a grin. Silvus cannot help but laugh in agreement. So true, buddy, so true. He hears his uncle clear his throat, turning his attention to him. He has his arms crossed with Eco, who just stands there, bored. So the two friends decide to cut conversation short, continuing to head to the castle district to the north. Silvus continues to follow the group all the way to a big wooden wall with a metal gate. He sees Tritus approach the guards to tell him to open up so they can head on in. Silvus looks around the castle district where the beta lives. Like the city itself, the castle is made of wood, but with lots of decorations. One decoration that interests interests him is another statue placed in the middle, posing like a hunter, with the same trident Tritus has. The plaque reads, Sidon Atlantra, founder and first beta lady of Tricia. Coming out of the castle, Silvus sees his cousin Sulfi, who spots him with a gasp and runs up to him. He thinks she is going to give Tritus a kiss, only for her to stop and smack him in the snout. Both Silvus and his group are taken aback at the sudden strike at the dumbfounded beta pirate.
Where have you been, Tritus? Doing your reckless hunts while I'm alone with eggs?
Sophie accuses Tritus. She is really mad at Tritus for leaving her behind. If Silvus remembers correctly, marriage is a very complicated commitment. He remembers that when he was a hatchling, Tritus and Sophie got along pretty well when they first met. Not to mention that Sophie always loved adventure and was drawn to Tritus' nature in being adventurous with his hunts. Regardless, Silvus just stands around listening to his cousin and best friend bicker about their future as parents.
Easy, my dear lass. You know as beta have to commit to my raptors.
You are a beta lord, I get it. But does not mean you have to go recklessly to your dangerous hunts, only for me to find out that I've become a widow, and my hatches will be fatherless. By the spirits, your betadom has a reputation of having the most rates of death.
Sophie rants, completely ignoring part of Tritus' plea. Sophie takes a deep breath and latches Tritus into a hug, followed by a peck on the lips.
Oh, Tritus, I am happy that you're taking your role seriously, but please don't forget that you're going to be a father, and our hatchlings need a good model to guide them.
Sophie takes Tritus' free claw and places it onto her rounded belly, filled with eggs.
Oh, my dear Sophie, maybe you're right, but right now we have guests.
Tritus points behind him, at Silvus and his group. She tilts her body to the side to see her family behind him.
By the spirits, Daddy, Eco, Silvus, what are y'all doing here?
Sophie gasps in shock. It's a long story, but we should discuss more inside the castle out of earshot, Silvus recommends.
He is right. We need to discuss it private inside the castle, not only to prevent a panic, but I fear there could be rebel spies around here,
Orzium says in agreement with Silvus. Tritus looks around the courtyard to make sure no shady figure is spying on them. Once it is clear, he and Sophie escort the family and the following Maglo guards into the wooden castle. The family gather around in the middle of the harbor-style throne room by a coral throne in front of the wellspring of Tricia. It is a giant palm tree that glitters purple-colored mist. Silvus tells a story to Tritus, who is sitting on the throne, while Sophie stands next to him. Orzium and Ego stand near Silvus, listening along. He tells him about Targon's claims, the army's appearance, and how his mother dragged him to her corners to give him an important task.
So you're saying Targon came to your doorstep, your mother gives you that package to take to Padalot, and you escape with Orzium and Ego?
Tritus asks him. Silvus takes out the package off his back and explains. She told me that this could save the kingdom. Whatever this is, my mother believes it could convince Arcus to send the royal army to help us take back Maglo. As soon as we settle here, we are going to head to Padalot right away.
Whoa, wait just a minute.
Orzium cuts in, earning attention from all the raptors, including Silvus, who looks at him in shock at his uncle's sudden objection. Orzium walks past Silvus, ignoring him, to instead present his own idea to the beta.
The invasion of Maglo allows Targon's rebels to gain an edge at the border here. It means that any time they will try to take Tricia next. With the bandits dwelling around your betadom, I believe that my nephew, son, and I should remain here and help you with your bandit problem, to buy you time to muster your defenses,
While Tritus thinks about Orzium's offer, Silvus still cannot believe that his uncle will rather stay put than honor his mother's request. Either that, or his uncle has become paranoid due to their battle with the bandits and the Crocodons.
I accept your offer, Orzium. Anything for family.
Tritus agrees to the offer, making Silvus more upset that now his best friend just agreed to his uncle's plan to be setting ducks. escorted to the living quarters at night. Silvus marches right to Orzim, who is attempting to get into his guest quarters. He shouts his name with an angry tone to gain his attention. Were you seriously going to stay here while Mom is back there, possibly being tortured? Listen, I understand your mother gave you a task, but we need to ensure the safety here first, unless you want the rest of your family to be in harm's way. Orzim counters Silvus with a shout of his own. Silvus gives him a hiss that reads, Are you serious? Orzim takes a deep breath and places 2 claws on his nephew's shoulders with an apologetic look. You are a very smart hatchling, Silvus. I have known your mother long enough to know that she is a very strong-willed lady. She can handle anything thrown at her. Are you sure about it? Yes, Silvus. By the spirits. She is my sister. I love her dearly just as you do. I promise you that we will head to Padalot. But you need to remember that she isn't your only family. You don't want your cousins to perish, do you? His uncle makes a good point. Even though he still wants to head to Padalot to save his mother, he also has his cousins to think about, surrounded by bandits and predators, as well as an invading army that will take over. He shivers at the thought of the remainder of his family being harmed. I guess you're right, Uncle, is all Silvus can say, before he turns around slowly to find his guest chambers. Silvus, his uncle calls out, making him turn around halfway to listen. I promise you that we will save your mother. Once we finish here, then we will make the trip to Padalot, which is why I am going to request that Tritus trains you to use a sword. Really? Oh yes, really. I know you used to train with Tritus and 2 of your old friends when you were a hatchling. I thought you could use your skill in both Mistcraft and sword to help us. You better get some sleep. Good night, Silvus. After listening to his uncle, Silvus parts ways, feeling a bit better as he continues to his own guest chamber. Inside, he puts down the package right by the bed. He walks up and flops into the bed to drift to sleep, still thinking about how he will be able to save his mother in time. End of chapter 8.